Etie for adofo me mama joba dwumadi eso Nokware ne with Imma-Adiza ba akope medam asese mo join na ansa na ye be hye dwumadi ase no ye be da otwedi ampo nyankopon ase se ode ene ya wada so aba be kan ye ho ama ene yeti adwam na yede nokware ni ede ebrem na ansa na nokware ni ye be fiti ase no yede de mato ni din se entete ho yede entete ho be bre etiefo adofo de etwagu ye afimu na awatwimu ejuada no ana NDC for a press conference na enye omonko a omanye ne party for nko a na omoye ne se adwumadwuma ekuo Ghana for teacher for drivers for omo ka biewom timemu for enyina omo a omasetenem enkoyie mobile money for ene ehon keka ho ebeka ensa omo nyina no eso eko joining press conference bi eka omobo aso asem de kire aban no na kame ayese aban we die asodin honhom eni enso ade honhom ewa akufuado ene na pamfo eso on se wi ase na ho nokre eye ba akope nti eye me de say dwumadie ye fe ne nokware ni aha ana ye ka nokre aha ana sebio entro ni ha na ansa na ye be hya ase no etiefo media futuo kakra ebe fam ni ye dia compare de omampanyin akufuado entro mrade enmudwa a wone na pamfo edwaye 2016 kra de ne yahunu kakra se papa we okasa hwesoro no anhwe fom de be sawase agu fom no age de grader ane ye de saw intina ye bebe hu se papa yi entro ankasa ana wotwa ene se promises a woye nyina wa ani so na emom no odi kan essay obidin ana odi sa edin saye no ede ma Ghana fo eto Ghana mrade ana ode na Ghana fo to abade ma no ye misaya ho say 5 years along the line papa idie na waye oma bobo ayi bosia kese nanso nothing to show o ba no o say o ba be si schools ye friend say schools all started from the scratch to say dear John Mahama ye no I will see Brooks no from the extract no into scratch no into John Mahama eto beji asase ana o see dynasty so na woni MPP for bebre din komo especially omo communicators now say oh why expansion project me pamache wo Ghana for asembisa expansion project ana building new school starting from the scratch ba ko ana abrofo no na yenti ase ana omo akasa na enti omo kasa na se sebroni kasa yesi bibi fiti ase a enye dan ne wo hodada asase da animu ana expansion project JM time oyebi for time oyebi JJ time crowd yebu yesi schools ni ye expansion project intino ono ekufuado no all promise Ghana for na brofo no ana na ontiasia na say enada na ye ne de say obebie na no aka because o kan asama Ghana for enye ohwe e wo say oti ne ho ase say gone are the days Kwame Nkrumah mre no ne ye nwo yen enso ye bete nka buzi ane omo keka ho no ono ane family dankwa buzi omo tradition no ne ye nwo bi mo eti say yen enso so no ye beti history no iti ye maame mo ne ye nanamo na anya mo hwea yen ye mrewe yi no ye be ye mu bibi ekire say ye mfa mo ho nkyemo mo ho a ye mfa nkyemo ne say ene technology nti oya ade no no wa anye ne yi a ye betwa aba se de o twa ntro 2008 2012 fa ahudi yen on say 2016 ye chewo efi say na technology o kan say CNN for eto so meka say samre na ukowia enkrofo speeches na akekabo mu na broni beka say plagiarizing of speeches no on say e chewo na so the same thing wo ye no 2008 2012 ya ancho ya anya owe enye nei saa so ne ye kan mamate ase say ye mpan we su we no se wadwene ye wo se wo ye minister wo ye president wo ye MP na sikanti wo baji bibi no afa ho adi amasa ye be kese wo ne wasefo senka ye nananom ene ye maame mo ekese dankwa buzia na ene wo masefo a kenye ne se ya benya wisdom omo abedi echirefo omo di animu ba dankwa himself ene ye kan say buzia enye ne sanke abenya the most wise can say president ever in Ghana's history you yen say ye say Akufo-Addo aye ade ne ye mpa ne din no emesi Ghana so biu obi ani wo ye na busuani wo ye na seni a oba abedi Ghana so biu sa na ye enei no ye kese ye beye na ade efe no Nokware ana me bebobo so yi ye wa ha na 2020 covid era finance minister na wa bon no wa bon aneseso ebi ni Ghana ha se ebi nsi da no wa bon o ka brofotra fake Christian because Christoni o chantro say de mi hu bi da o she white dress na wo di prove or the chanko for say o ye innocent by ye devil free or na she wo fake Christian eye Ken Oforiata finance minister wa bon pa in Ghana's history wa bon chen obia onje ne ho suntum arrogant ahye ne ma inti say omunyina echo school of imbecility and omunyina awie with ye can say PhD in senseless idiotic ye can say stupidity omu PhD no a omu kobo inti no enti sa so a mame fa futuo bi emfa fidie we so emfa ma Akufo-Addo baby amokoje mo mpaibo ene mo black magic no ene mo nro mo san ko ho because niema amoye nyina doesn't make sense by you or mu nyina amogidi say whatever you're doing no it makes sense eba ne sa amafom eba ne sa amaye bone atia obi sensu jam na amaye bone atia na mo mpa na chew because niamo ye no sebio te said ye mabodam nothing is going on bibiansi diamo ye bia mfa kwam na me enra de si ye no ansa na mekọ de enra si ye no so me bebobo we entete ho ahun se entete ho no me be kire mu ye sana on say aduane ye serve aduane na se ehia ukọ round o tete soro no na aka ase ni ntie nu ase no na ne nyina adu because saudi on satum a ebe hyew intimentete ho no main topic na ewo ho na mentete ho no eni ebi nie Nokware na make say ye ba ko no say wu twantro a oye den oto bedadi oto na ebedadi ne say emra ye ni nkaso ana se wo de ntro hye wabra bomu a time a wu twantro no anytime no a wo beka wo be yi wo ho eto ano no onkai efise otrofo oni nkai da ana Akufo-Addo dwa na numu a dwa na numu twantro a on set time has catch up with him I can say obi gina nche obeka say asem ya papa yi kan de dodo time will tell and time has indeed tell time no aka se ye hunu se Akufo-Addo oye trofo ana se onye trofo na wiase no ho obi a ohyeda ase ono de oye sex worker a ye fe na shawoni ono de waje ne ho atum inti wono no ye nwene ne ho papa efi se ye beka ne se o asomasi de se sa na otie obi a wadi konkonsa agedin ono sa nipa no ye mfa ne nye hwe o ye fe no se paahwi ya to ne paahwi obi oye kromfo techi amoa a obi anim sa asomasi de o we de kromfo no ana obo no ono no ye nheda emfa ne ho na mum obi a ye nim se oye kromfo ne ye beche ne se wawi ade no ya na question mark beda ne ho afe ni buo ekofom ninim de ebuo ene se de nkrofo heli no ekofom senana ekufuado enwiem antena so ne second time we ya ono onim de eto no a ene otede eto na se a anka menye sure say obeto akoso edi omampanyini kuwajai dadadada anka wan we shi for second term na ko obefa ne saa because this ne second term no eye ade abroni be ka say ye unveil ni true colors iti no ni true colors ankasa ye kufuado ne na aban true colors no ana show iti amana dadi ama enne enkwala nketu anyina akora mu no asama american si so no efi say o twa antro 2016 no full say enne ma ana no full say neto enne di ana enso mummy enhwe de ekoso 2020 no ya funny serious but this time serious say we MPP ni communicator na abojo mahama na enkrofo sere yebu sasabio wa adwene ne mukaw oda so bo mahama din biem after 5 years na chasa we yare prophet Odro aneka o se we yare papa papa no so for ne ka o se wo yare na chasa we yare sepantine ehonye ma ananka fonye ma mu piepia yare for me ye sure say omo muguo no omo hu na ayefi na the real mad people ankasa in government omo bu mine o se korre o madwunu di omo ye bia wo justify enye ye enso na omo justify na covid mu ana finance minister di odi beto ye edwa ema ayete ye 100 million not knowing say you can say financial support as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic no yes say IMF nkoa ema 5.85 billion ana World Bank suma 2.58 billion ana European Union esoma 505 million cedis ana African Development Bank esoma 405.65 million ana Korea for soma 349 million ana Germany for esoma 280.99 million ana government of Ghana esoso emaye 4.5 billion ana government of Ghana hana Bank of Ghana sosomaye 10 billion ana GOB eno so omo fund bi eno somaye 1.2 billion into kika ni nyina aboma yenya 250.59 billion ahuno no kre eye ba akope madam fubi na onim se o twantro ana oka kire me se wasi ni dan awie dadaada 6 months along the line osane me di nkomo foforo si oh wono de o memesi dan o me top plot esi dan ana ye kan say langard foi aba abegini sika di na ne maame ne papa bra omo breye ansana omo si dan na ne maame ne papa wo bi ne de o mbesi bi wahu entro baabi a di nipa ekowie enti wiase no se wote ho na wa ama no kre endi wanim kan na wo se obema entro ana edi wanim kan a endie na wa ujejireje efi se wan kasa no obete ohoto abra wani nyeden enna ho oho enti sa wuti wiase a e wosa wo ma no kre edi wanim kan so wa ma no kre no endi wanim kan a ebeye ensem ebebre enti ma no kre endi wanim kan na dwumadie yi me guso a me twen se me guest ebetimi a join ana ye guso a me hwe nti waba line so ama mahunu se waba so aka se obe join na wawuram nti no me guest master ma se be ye oberum nti wiase a ye wo no se wo ma entro edi wanim kan a edi anim guase edi brew nti na di no kre na ohunto na ama wankasa so wanim nyam aye kese na wunim hwe kra na yesi wunim owu a hwede akufu ado de ato no na enne guest a yede ni bedi dwumadie ye fe no Mr. Enoch ni aginu a oye NDC South Africa communication team member ono na ye ne no ebedi dwumadie inti no migusu a mede no ka ho a ogusu a me ade no inti no emre no ma ye kwan a obejoin a ne ye de dwumadie ahye seso e de amam na enne no dwumadie enya asem ketu akra na meja bibi ketu bi wom ene se enra ni hu dwiri me papa di enti a dwiri me no ene se enra eye 65th birthday emma ora bia ye nyina ne ye pe na asem a ye admiring from afar from afar ani efu se wiase nyina no onim nyansa asebio enipa ne bebraye den ahwe ne so ene ono so ne secret bebre aba abonten a sebio enhyeda enye fesa intino dear switch your phone to this rejoin okay that's okay intino answer na yebema yebra ajoin no e levy na enra chairman sabonsu wo the honorable kraka ne din wa on deserve chairman sabonsu ya de ya me yakra ne color green na o me de ye no because my favorite color ada na ma fa blue ana white ana say red and fanye na mo fa green e kire say omu ki Ghana ho few e ka say MPP Ekufuado ene ne MPP aban omu mu ade a obi be ka say mo ye nkwala ana mpasa omanim omu mu ade omu mu Ghana fo president mi de nsasi ne bo ose mo pro mi mumpo ye be ye ose na adwene no akatwia ida nanim se na adwene no say oyo man panyini ye chinchim Ghana fo nsa e the second one amano inti wawi a masa wa chiri ma oho ye nkwa na se afra asa biem di obedua ne no ana obetwa ye Ghana fo yi ye ne mu di besie ni wo mpaibom ne bebo mpaye no atia mo ne masefo if you think you can eat your cake and have it and I say mu wia Ghana sika na mo ne mo family ene ye kan say mo generation I enjoy you will be a funny generational case. Ye no na Ghana for ye better dia mamone massive and forever. A chiriman chiriba to my next 4 or 5 generations. No, Omunina benya case nibi. And I said to eternity. Yeah, this time, yeah, generation we yeah, Yenya kra madwene ye musam to say Kwame Nkrumah pencil. No way. You wait and watch. Ye dem paibo any mo de besie ni pa nti no minka samre no pese me kire say enra bawumia because obi anim say oye fake economist ehun hia se ebema no ne PhD na okoto oye no ama ne doctor bia oye vice president mumu ba akopɛ inti no ye mfa doctor bia nso ne so ne din de bawumia etimi kopie mu wo eho Mr. Digital waka wa asam wa wie no akodi e-levy ye kan say birthday party chese mumu ye ya ho inti yasu ye mumu said ye mumu ye no the same thing ada mu besua asam mu bebu Ghana for no samre wa odi doctor na ye de be ma wa odi lawyer na ye de ama o se president ayato ama akra ye mfa mfra Ekufuado u be fata now ye niema e wokwan ma ene flowers your excellency president Nana Adodankwa Ekufuado ni abama na ye de the vice president Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na de account na musuba anya fa mumu ade de yesu mumu inti Bawumia Ekufuado eno an ye be frem ye nto sebe se shudi ne nyawudi na so fi se no court bebe mu a ya ye ready ye duru ho no ma se court de be so a ne ya hwe yesu ye mumu ye ya ye mumu we ya atika inti tete ho no me di si a inti mebra ajoin na kasa no on the other photocakra inti ana topic no yes say the real state of Ghana's economy, the state of Ghana's education, our health and our matters arising in a e-levy kofa bae inti ene NDC for Ghana for acting to sukoko e di actually the stubborn ruling governments. Mumu adie yesu ye mu omo omumu ye yesu ye mu omo because ye na ewo so omugu ye tax na ye tua na eno na hwe omo into omumu ye yesu ye mu omo said your mabo mi fita no yesu abo mi fita duku di ehia omo na omampanyin asem bi okan ye betwagu wo news bi wo say e-levy, who are you to decide not to pay? We are the ones who paid, who voted for you. So we have the right to say we will not pay, and we are not going to pay. Now we will quit using mobile money, if that is what you want. We will not pay for you to enjoy your jet with sewabro in the air. Who are we? We are the ones who pay you. We are the ones who feed you and your family. So if you think you can just boss yourself around, you are nobody. If we are nobody to you, you are also a nobody to us. Into umuyanya yemu, ubuyanya yeso yebebu. Intino Nadia Ohonantino. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Madam. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Nice having you back here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Okay, so please introduce yourself to our viewers and then let's start rolling.
Okay, I'm Comrade Enoch, as you know. I'm the communication director for the National Democratic Congress South African chapter.
Okay. I didn't know that though.
Now you know.
Yeah, now I know because I address you as member of the communication team. I never knew you are the communication officer. So next
Never.
time I'll
That
do
is
the needful.
that is pardonable. It's pardonable.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so etiefo said the midi kaka and ono the obepoto. It's a question so yebepoto na eja. Ye de ni nyina afrafra na ye nokware ni de ye katwi ni ye ka brofo on de brofo na na obeka. Inti no question no maybe salman wo brofum na wo yi ano no anyi ano wie mu amesa so ebisa ne bi otwi mu ahwese. Bibisa ne twi mu obetimi de akọbrofo a se ebe ya etiefo adofo. So, but now our first question is in the education sector. Akufo-Addo promised to build 360 SHS schools from the scratch. What is the news now? How many has he built, and how many are in completion?
Thank you very much, and I want to say a very good thank you to your listeners and viewers also for the opportunity being given me to express myself and to give my contribution to the development of our dear motherland, Ghana. I will say we are in a digital era, but then we have analog leaders who are refusing to think and move by the time that we are going into. A clear indication is looking at our president. I want to address something a little bit before I move into the main question. Looking at our president, looking at our road minister, looking at our senior minister, these three people, when you put their ages together, we are above 250 years. And the country is just less than 70 years. And we have people who are 200 years plus trying to rule us. It clearly states that we've gone past even the analog. I don't know where we have to even put them. Now, coming to your question, we know education is very, very important. Education is paramount when it comes to the world, because education is about information and acquiring knowledge, right? I can clearly say that Akufo-Addo has not built a single school into his credit. He has rather completed 17 e-blocks that former President John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, built. Now, looking at the transition movement, Akufo-Addo has completed only 17, which he didn't start. But John Mahama has built 127 schools from the scratch. Now, if you take right from the beginning of 2008 downwards, when you start from 2012 to 2016, when John Dramani Mahama was the president, he built 127 schools. Now, taking from 2017 to current 2022 is 5 years. Akufo-Addo has only completed 17 e-blocks that were started by John Dramani Mahama. So if you ask me about education system and ask me if Akufo-Addo has been able to build schools, I will tell you no. He has partially completed, because most of these projects are about 95% in completion, which means he has not even completed. So we can't even state emphatically that he has even built 17 schools. So if you ask me, I will say Akufo-Addo has not built a single school. He has tried to complete, which he has not done yet, to other 17 e-blocks that John Dramani Mahama started but went out of power.
Okay, thanks. And my next question is, still no textbooks for schools from primary to JHS schools. Is the MPP government giving a quality education, or they are just fulfilling their campaign promise?
When you ask me this, it becomes very, very funny for me to answer, because I know you know very well that the MPP government has done nothing. Now, what the MPP government is doing, that if you are trying to be vocal, if you are trying to be outspoken, they try to put you out. A clear example is one outspoken teacher called Teacher Kojo, right? He came out with a lot of things that was happening in the GES sector. You understand? Today I was watching a video about a young man who migrated from the north, and then he's in Accra, and then he said he was teaching, and then he was earning in the private school. He was earning as little as 300 Ghana cedis, and I asked myself, this is even less than $100. And this guy was expressing himself, saying that when it's time for examination, he even compiles all these things. You have to come out with terminal report, and then he's taking home a 300 Ghana cedis. For crying out loud, how much is 300 Ghana cedis for somebody who is imparting knowledge into children? How much or how long is he going to use this money? You understand? Now look at during the era of John Ajikun Kufuor, right? The era of John Evans Atanos, the era of John Dramani Mahama. Looking at statistically, when people go in for BEC or SSC, we see the results that come out. They come out with very good flying colors. Until Akufo-Addo came out with this so-called free education, which is this double track system. Now, my sister, how would you feel if your children are in the government sector? They go to school for 2 months, come and sit home for another 2 months or 3 months before they go in again. And then they are writing the same common entrance with other West African countries who are not into double track system. So you have 2 months in the school, 2 months out. And that other school that is in the other West African country, that same 2 months in, 2 months out, he is all in school. That is 4 months. So tell me clearly, if somebody from Ghana is writing a common entrance to someone from Nigeria, who do you think is going to perform well? Somebody who has consistently been in the classroom for 4 months, and somebody who has been in the classroom for 2 months in and then 2 months out. Now, we know how difficult it is to study at home. Now, teachers are not being paid well. How many teachers are even being contacted to teach these words at home? Do they even have the right requirement? Do they have the tools? Do they have the syllabus, the updated syllabus for them to teach these children? At the end of the day, these children go and then they write the same exams with other West African countries. Some of them go the extra mile and then they get teachers to help them. Some of them also go extra to burn the midnight candle. And these people even pass out. I was watching a documentary about a girl in, I think, Brown Afro who had 8 A's. And then the challenge she asked that there's no money to even go to the university. The question is, what is the government doing? Which measures has it put in place for people like this? I don't know if you get the point that I'm trying to raise, because you are providing very bad materials for the students. Look at the condition of them in the classroom. People are sitting on stools and writing on trees. People are sitting on the floor. When it rains, people don't go to school. People are studying in a muddy structure where they are claiming that it's classroom. People are studying under the tree. If you go to the northern sector, you see people under the tree who are studying using the blackboard. And then even for them to get to the school, they have to cross rivers. They have to walk for miles, 7 miles, 8 miles, 10 miles before they get into the school. They get there, already they are tired. What are they going to study? They need some time to refreshen up themselves. And classes start around 7 or 8 o'clock. Now, this person walks about 10 miles to school, and this is a child. 10 miles, you can take about an hour towards. We get to school, is already late. 1, 2, is already tired. 3, the brain is already exhausted. 4, he needs to rest before he gets into the classroom. And then on top of it, the teacher punishes him for being late. But if there are structures that are being in place for all these things, I don't think children will suffer. Because gone are the days when you are hearing that it is Sunday today, it has to be Monday, so you go to school. But now it is Sunday, and you wish you can even have another day to rest before you go, because you know you are coming to walk about 10 kilometers or 12 kilometers to school, which is not going to help. Ask yourself, how many of these government officials, these so-called ministers, have their children in public schools? Because they know very well that the public schools, the materials that they're using for the children are outdated. They are not even, they are nowhere to be found even. Before, people were using calculators. Now there's an iPad. You have your calculation on your iPad. You have it on your iPhone. You have it on your Samsung phone. But now, what is the government also doing to enhance teaching, to make it more attractive? Ask yourself in Ghana now, how many people would like to go into teaching? When you assemble kids and ask them, what do you want to be in future? Someone will gladly say, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a pilot. I want to be a pharmacist. How many people would love genuinely to become teachers? Because teachers are not being respected. How much is the teacher earning? The last time I was listening to this education minister about this laptop issue, and then I was like, look at this. Some things that are being entitled for the people to get. When they get it, you are making it look as if it is a favor you are doing them. But clearly, you go to the rural areas, and then it rains, and then they have cupboards. They have their books stored there. It rains, and then the rain beats these books, and everything gets waste. But if the person has a laptop, at least the person can keep the syllabus on it, and they put it at a nice and a safe place. So you giving a laptop to a teacher to come and teach your own children, it doesn't mean that you're giving him a privilege. It is something that he's entitled to get. You see, over here, when we went on the COVID lockdown, most of the schools here, I would say about 90% of all the schools over here came out with a plan. They have to now put the syllabus on the iPad for the students. So you are home and then you are doing studies online. And then when there's a mistake, you have been corrected. But in Ghana, when the schools, when it was locked, everybody was home. The education minister didn't come or didn't even think to do that. All this while these children are home, what would they be doing? Let's come up with something to even keep their brains active. But nothing of that sort. But you go to other countries, they are doing very well. So if you ask about education system in Ghana, it is really poor. One, the teachers are not being motivated. Two, the structures are not welcoming. Three, the children don't even find it interesting to go to school anymore. Four, the syllabus are outdated. So what are they going to study? You understand? So if you ask me about education, I'll say that in education, when it comes to education, it's like we putting the sieve down and then pouring water inside, hoping that it will keep it. It is not going to keep it. The sieve is not a calabash. The sieve has got holes in it. The water will go down, but the calabash will hold it. So we need a calabash, not a sieve, when it comes to education system. Thank you.
Okay, thank you too. And our next question is now the UTAG too wants to go on strike. UTAG is threatening to go on strike. What can be done to stop that strike after students have been in school for only 21 days? They've been complaining for a while now. It seems that the government is not taking a serious notice about their concerns. So they want to go on strike, and nothing is stopping them this time round.
Thank you very much. You see, it still goes back to what I said previously about motivation. Now, when it comes to UTAG, these are University Teachers Association of Ghana, right? And these are people that have paid hard-earned money to go there to acquire knowledge to come and teach our children. So if they are not being motivated, the question is, what will push them to go into the classrooms? That is the first question. When they are in the classroom, what will motivate them to stay in the classroom? The first one is, how do they go into the classroom if they are not motivated? Two, what will motivate them to stay in the classroom? Three, what will make them happy that they are teaching or they are imparting knowledge into other people? These are three questions that you ask yourself. And all these three questions, there are no answers to them. Because the government has simply made up its mind that it's not going to listen to anybody. When you try to criticize him, he then sings for you, and then he will dance to it. Because he feels that this is his last term, and then nobody can do anything. Whether you like him or not, he's not coming for another term again. But we need to run a system whereby leaders should be accountable for whatever they do. You understand? We need to run a system whereby the leaders must know that this thing that they are doing, come maybe 4 years, come 5 years, they need to account for it. They need to be audited. But it looks as if somebody goes out of government, he's not even being audited. And then nothing happens. So the motivation, as I said, it is not there. So if UTAG are telling the government that this is what they want and the government is not giving them, why is the government not giving them? That is the biggest challenge that we have now. Because the government has turned deaf ears on them. It's like a dead goat. Whatever they say is not going to listen to them. You understand? But let's put down a system. Look, the education system should have a policy. I don't even think the Ghana Education Service, they have a policy for teachers. They don't. Because if there are policies for the teachers, then there should be constitutions that run and that governs them. So that when you go around, they tell you, okay, A, B, C, this is what you're supposed to do. You fell out of it. So this is your punishment. This is what you have to go through. You have to write a letter. You have to do ABCD. But then look as if somebody wakes up and then does anything anyhow. Ask yourself, University of Winneba, that is where they train most of the teachers. Ask yourself, how many graduates come out of the university and they are being posted to go to teach? None of them. Most of these people come out of school and then they go into private schools to go and teach them in private schools. Whereas the government is supposed to be doing all these things for them, but the government is not doing it. So who are you to blame? I will blame the education minister, because the education minister stands as a bridge in between the teachers association and then the president. So if the teachers are channeling their issues to the district, the district is giving it to the minister, then the minister should be able to take it before the committee, or to take it to parliament, or take it to the president. But then it's like, we don't care whatever you want to do. It is by government appointment. So whatever you do, they don't care, what the government has the final say. And since that's the final say in terms of that, whether you can go on demonstration, you give them a 21 days ultimatum or 3 days or 4 hours, he doesn't care. He doesn't really care. We're in the same country when doctors went on strike. How long did it take them to come back? It took them only 2 days for them to come back. Why? Because they were recording a lot of emergency cases there, which only the nurses are now doing the emergencies. And there were people in hospitals that were in critical conditions, but doctors are like, no, we're not going to wait until our needs are being met. So why is that when teachers come out with such things like that, they are not being given ears to? Does that mean the teachers are not being respected? But these are the people that plays major role in the society, the teachers and the farmers. If the teachers decide not to go to school again, who becomes the politician? Who becomes the doctor? Who becomes the communication minister? Nothing. So I think the government should be held accountable, and then he should sit down with the youth tag, sit down with them, talk over things, let them listen to them, what are their grievances, give them hope, let them know that we should have been doing A, B, C, D, but because of A, B, C, D, we are not able to meet you. But then we'll find a way of meeting you halfway to amend all these things. I think meeting them and talking to them will go a long way to help. But ignoring them and allowing them to go on demonstration, giving you ultimatum and everything, is going to rather make the case worse. At the end of the day, the minister or the government is not suffering. The teacher is not going to suffer, but the child in the classroom is always going to suffer.
Okay. So back to our next topic, which is about the economy. NPP government is saying the economy is good. Everything is well with us. But the masses are suffering, and we all know what we are going through. The hardship is unbearable. We are going through hell. Even we can't afford 3 square meal these days. Even 2 is not even easy, let alone the 3 square meal. But the government or the president and their great minister, they are all saying everything is all right with us. Meanwhile, it is not. Because when you go to the market, it's where you see that people are suffering. Because you want to buy something, but the money is not there. We don't have money in the system. So what is the real situation of the economy? Because they painted something good in the eyes to the world out there. And the reality is, it is not true. Because we are feeling it. We are feeling the heat. We go to the market every day and we know what we have. But they try to portray as if everything is all right with Ghanaians. And then when you have 1 cedi, you can easily, now you can't buy anything 1 cedi. You can't. Because common kenke, you can't even buy 1 cedi kenke. We don't have it anymore. But they are praising and saying that the economy is okay. Everything is fine with us, but it is not. And they are painting the picture differently. So what is your take on it? What is the real situation of Ghana's economy?
Okay, thank you so much. I think I will start by defining what economy is. Now, according to the dictionary, it says economy is the state of a country or region in terms of 1, production, 2, consumption, 3, of goods, 4, of goods and services, and the supply of money. So we have production, we have consumption, we have goods and services, we have supply of money. Now, the question is, the first one I'll ask myself, production, what are we producing? 2, consumption, what are we consuming? If you don't produce and harvest, how do you consume? I don't know if you get my question. Now, you made a clear point earlier on about the price of kenke. I was watching a documentary. I always like watching documentaries about Ghana because I love Ghana so much, and I know very soon in 2025 we are going to form a government. The NDC will form a new government in 2025. Yeah, I was watching a documentary 3 days ago, and then it was a fellow presenter as you, I think in TV3. He was making an analogy about the price of kenke, and he was actually on the cameras with the kenke, and they says a ball of kenke as at October last year was 1 cedi, and now it's being sold for 2 cedi. And then fish that was being sold for 1 cedi 50 pesos at that time, and I buy the same fish for 3 cedis. And then he made something mind blowing about a loaf of bread, which he said a loaf of bread before was 7 cedis, but now it's being sold for 10 cedi. Now the question I ask myself is that this transition period or all this inflation that is going up, who is suffering? It is the innocent Ghanaians that is suffering, because I know very well that ministers don't go to the market. The member of parliament, they don't go to the market. Once you're a minister, you are being catered for by the state. You don't buy fuel, you don't buy airtime, you don't pay electricity bill. Your water bill is being changed for you every 6 months. So all these things that are going on, they don't feel it. It's the innocent Ghanaians that feel this pain. Now, what are we producing? Economy talks about production. What are we producing? Are we empowering farmers because they are on the field, they do a production? Are we empowering farmers? The answer is no. You and I know when NDC was in government, John Dramani Mahama goes around, gives tractors and fertilizers to farmers. And then they are being given soft loan from Agricultural Development Bank for farmers so that they can be able to produce more. And out of that, they'll be paying the bank small out of the money that they make. Just the recent ended Best Farmer Award, I saw it on social media. There was a place that the National Best Farmer was giving a bicycle. Now you ask yourself, what is he going to do with the bicycle? Someone who is into poultry, what does he need the bicycle for? Why don't you give the person maybe a capital to expand his business, or give him equipment that will enhance him to do much more work, so that there'll be a lot of production? When there's a lot of production in the system, the consumption becomes very easy. You understand? Now let's take for instance, if I'm a mango farmer and I have my mango plantation in the north, let's say in Tamale, right? And I'm supposed to I've harvested my produce and I've kept it in the car and I'm supposed to bring it to Accra. Now this truck that I'll be loading these mangoes will take about three or 4 days to get into Accra, and I need to come with ripe mangoes. So now tell me, moving from Tamale to Accra, before I get to Accra, about half of the mangoes would have gone bad. Now the farmer will not like to lose because he has paid for transport and everything. So the farmer needs to make money. So you find out that one banana, one mango that is supposed to cost like maybe 50 pesos, fruit are supposed to be the cheapest things on the market for people to eat. So if one mango is supposed to be sold for 50 pesos, because other mangoes have gone bad, which is 50 pesos, now they'll put 2 prices of the mango on one. So instead of buying it for 50 pesos, you are now going to buy it for 1 cedi, 50 pesos. So you are paying for the other rotten mangoes. So now, if the mangoes get there to where I'm going to sell to the customer, who is the consumer, and the consumer refuses to buy, who loses is the same farmer, because now he has not gotten somebody to buy his produce. So in this, how do you encourage the farmer to produce more when you don't even give him subsidies that take this amount of money or get this fertilizer, get this government subsidy so that you invest into your farming. You understand? I was also reading something very, very funny about tax, and I know we'll come to that at the later. But let me just chip in. In this. Cocoa farmers were being given soft loans by the government, and cocoa farmers were not taxed even from the time of John Ajikun Kufuor to John Mama. Cocoa farmers were not being taxed because they were being encouraged to bring in more cocoa because the farming of cocoa is not easy. So national ADB was giving them also soft loans by the government. Now, the money that will be given to cocoa farmers, they are not going to be taxed on it. And you and I know that when it comes to economics, we don't tax capital. So now the capital that is going to be given to them, they have to now tax them on the capital. So tell me, how do you expect them to buy enough fertilizer, enough weedicide and pesticide and bring it to the farm to give out good food to consume? So when it comes to production, the government has failed the farmers. When it comes to consumption, the government has failed that because from the top already has been failed. Now let's look at supply. What are we supplying? We don't have the right food. We don't have the right water to drink. And then we are talking of supply. What are we supplying? You go to some places in Ghana, and then you find out that there are not even good pipe water for them to drink. They have to drink from the stream, and you find them that this same stream is used for irrigational purposes. The cattle come there to drink, the sheep come there to drink, and then you find human beings also going there to drink and also to wash at the same time. You get it? So what services are we rendering to our people? Nothing. There's nothing like goods and services. We don't even have the money there to even bring the goods and services in. So the question is, what is the government even doing for us? He's doing nothing. The agricultural sector is going down. Now people are even importing tomatoes from Morocco. That is a very disgraceful thing to even do. Years ago, people were being empowered to farm tomatoes in Pualungu in the northern sector, and tomatoes were coming into the south for it to be sold. But now they can't even farm tomatoes in that enough tomatoes over there. They have to now import tomatoes from Morocco, and then it's going to incur much more tax for people to buy. Because I was claiming from that now a pallet of tomato now is being sold for 2,000 Ghana cedis. Before it was 600 Ghana cedis. So all these monies that have been imposed on, why can't we empower people to go into farming? Which means clearly the government doesn't care. How many times have you seen the government of Ghana or the agri minister going into farms to go and see what happens on the field? The agri extension officers, how many times do you see that they are being empowered to go into the field? Nothing of that sort happened. So when it comes to agriculture, I think every country's economy relies, I would say, 40% on their produce. Because a country like South Africa, they eat what they produce. When you are bringing in food from West Africa and other countries, you have to get a permit before you bring it in. So you go into South African supermarket, you find when it is rice, they have different types of rice that are being farmed in South Africa. They are empowering them. During the time of COVID, farmers in South Africa, even though offices were closed down, farmers in South Africa were being given monies by the government to empower them to farm and produce more food. Because COVID time, you are in the house, you are doing nothing, but still you are eating. So how do you eat? What if the farmer was not also going to the field to go and farm? How will you eat? So farmers were being empowered during the COVID time, and then they were doing much well. South Africa was supplying food to Zimbabwe and other neighboring countries. Why? Because the government saw the need that COVID-19, there's lockdown everywhere. No embassy is working, no airport is working, but still people are eating. Where are the food stocks coming from? It's coming from the farm. So if it is coming from the farm, then let's now empower the farmers to produce more, because now everybody is home. So farmers were being empowered by the government of South Africa, and they were doing more. So during the era of COVID-19, South Africa, when it comes to food, they had no problem. But Ghana, Akufo-Addo took a lot of money, $467 million from the IMF, and he went around preparing wati and gari for people to eat a plate. And now, if you are working out the debt that Ghana has now, if you are working it out by the 30 million Ghanaians you have, if you are to split it, that means every single Ghanaian citizen is owing 18,000 Ghana cedis. Ask yourself, this 18,000 Ghana cedis, how many people even had the plate of wachi to eat and the bowl of kinky and fish to eat? How do we pay off this loan? So this shows how incompetent the government is. He doesn't care about production. He doesn't care about productivity. He doesn't care about services. Nothing. Farmers should be the backbone of every country, because every country you go, you eat. Ghana food is expensive. You go to other European countries, the cheapest thing in other European countries are food. The reason why people say, oh, abroché is because they eat nice meal, nice chicken, very huge chicken, huge fish at a very low price. But you come to Ghana, the meal is not nice. The nutritional value is even bad and low, and you are even buying much more expensive. In Ghana, you can buy a tilapia for 40 cedis. Over here, you go to the market and then it is there, very cheap. Why? Because farmers are being empowered. The government gives subsidies, and then things are being done more. Production is being done very, 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 very fine. I watched a documentary about a young Ghanaian who uses national service money to go into catfish farming. This is productivity. Such a person who has thought of this, and now he has been interviewed on national TV. I think the government, the thing the government should do is to follow up. Where is this gentleman? If he's been able to save 500 Ghana cedis for 12 months, which is 6,000 Ghana cedis, and he has been able to use it to come up with a fish pond, a catfish farm, then which means that if we are to empower him with maybe like a 20,000 Ghana cedis or a 30,000 Ghana cedis, then he can do a very huge farm. You understand? We have people from the University of Development Studies in Yankpala who come out, and then they don't even have the chance to work in the agric department or a ministry of food and agriculture. But these are people who have acquired knowledge over there. But they come out and then they're in different offices. So if you ask me clearly, I think I've spoken so much on agriculture because I'm very passionate about it. Our late dad was a very good farmer, so I'm very passionate when it comes to farming. You understand? Well, my late dad was a very good rice farmer, and he farmed 1,200 acres of rice farm in the north. So when it comes to farming, I'm very passionate because I know that this is one thing that boosts the people. It boosts the economy. Because if we eat what we produce, I think people will not even complain about food. But this is a situation whereby we are eating something that we can't even produce, or we find it difficult to produce. Because if a bag of maize is now in the north, is being sold for, let's say, 200 Ghana cedis, and you are bringing it to the south, because of transportation cost, it will go high. But if people are being empowered, if government says, okay, what we do is the whole northern region, let's say a place like Pontamali, all the farmers, then when you're done and you harvest your maize, give us how much you are selling it. We'll bring a truck, then we'll transport it to the south. You get it? So if the government is able to do this, it empowers the local farmers to produce more. Because you know that at the end of the day, when he's finished, when he does his harvest, he's not going to carry it on his head to the marketplace to go and now beg people to come and buy. But he knows that there's a ready market somewhere. If he has 1,000 bags that has been harvested already, he knows that in the next 2-3 days or a week time, the government is coming to carry everything and pay him cash, which he can now go and buy more produce and go and farm. So that if the government can transport food stuff from one point to the other point, I think that this thing will be very, very okay. You understand? But the government is not doing anything about it. So people will come out with their own prices. They'll come out with their own prices, and then whatever they say or they want to say was now if you go to Accra and somebody say he's selling a ball of cake for 2 cedi, there is no regulation. Somebody can say I'm selling one for 3 cedi. Somebody can say I'm selling one for 150 pesos. There is no regulation. But I think if the government is able to help with these things, we'll go far. Particularly about farmers. Farmers need to be empowered. Farmers need to, so that they stop this illegal cake, all this cake that they're using for their party. Where did the produce come from? It's not the same farmers. So the government should really empower farmers and they invest into farming. And I think the basic or the ordinary Ghanaian will also benefit and be happy. Thank you.
Thank you too. Ansa na yebeto aso no. Ahwefo a omobehwe yen wo fire Lewis ni adote enim Anna Francis Harvester enim Anna Owusu Kwadnanana Benjamin Pabiti Prince Enoch Francis Aqua Brano no ebi twegu a mesa so de aso moso now our next question is Ghana really broke?
Thank you so much for your question. I remember very well that our I would say their president, the MPP president, went on radio and said get castle now so you break. Now the question is get castle, where is the money? On which chair is the money that we are sitting on? You see, one thing I've come to realize is that Akufo-Addo is not a president material. Secondly, his vice president, Dr. Bawumia, I don't know now when you Google the biggest liar in Ghana, it comes out with his name. That man is also not an economist. He comes out with so many big English and grammar, but trust me, Ghana is not broke. Look, when it comes to natural resources, right? In Africa, Ghana, we top. We were here when the Chinese woman came and took rosewood, about 300 logs to China. Do you know the price of one rosewood? $16,000 times 300. How much is it? And we have rosewood in Bronga region, and the government of the day says it doesn't know the essence of what the rosewood is being used for. In Ghana, Chinese are coming there and then they are destroying our lands for Galamsey. Look at what happened last time in the western region or so. About that, it's the explosive, the tanker. What happened? The government, when they said is promising them monies to give them, where is those monies come from? This tells you clearly that there's money in Ghana. We have cocoa, we have bauxite, we have iron ore, we have crude oil. Everything at all is in Ghana. We even have the sea, we have the lands to plant. All the natural resources, we have it. What do we have that Malawi don't have? Or what do we have that Zimbabwe don't have? Look at a country like Togo. What do they produce? Togo has no gold, they have no oil. But why do they have free port? Ghana, we have all these things, but we are still taxing people at the harbor. This clearly tells you that there is money somewhere that people are hauling on it. When Ghana discovered oil first, right? There was an interview with Kufi Wayu, and then he made a statement. People were laughing, but people thought he's just trying to make fun. He said, why would you contact a company from the US to come and drill oil? And then as a whole country, you give the company 60%. That's an individual company. And the whole state, you take 40%. And out of the 40% that you take, you are even paying tax on top of it. Now, how many students are graduating from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology? How many engineering students don't we have? I think if in your own house you discover there's gold in your compound, I don't think you come and call me to come and drill it, take 60% and leave you 40. You now start looking for pickers and then diggers. Every day you can even dig like 2 or 3 feet. You one day get to where the gold is, and then you have access to the 100%. Ghana is not a poor country. If Ghana wants to get machinery to drill, they will do it. You understand? But it is wickedness, deliberate wickedness of this NPP government. They are very cruel. When you talk of a tyrant president, Akufo-Addo is number 1. When you talk of a tyrant vice president, Bawumia is number 2. They don't care about anything. Look at all the state-owned properties. They are selling them. You get my point. Look at the airport we have, the pride of the country. Yes. You've sold part of it to a Turkish company. You understand? So as a country, what do we have as our own pride? We have nothing. But Ghana as a country has got a lot of money. We have gold. How many tons of gold are being exported daily by the gold mines? You get it? All the time, people are on their minds. Look, there's somebody who is, I don't even know how to even qualify. Somebody like Chamahu to me has been giving gold concession. Whilst the Galamsey was being stopped, he was busy in the food out there, bringing out gold. And you come on national TV holding rare gold bar, saying that this is good, this is good, yeah, which is illegal. Not a refined good, but rare gold on national TV saying that, check it, this is good. And people like this are on TV, and then they don't even tell them to do anything just because they belong to the government of the day. So the party, the Ghana itself as a country, is a very rich country. In all natural resources, we are there. But then, the leaders we have now are very wicked. You go and secure a loan of $28 million, and then you come and buy land cruisers for ministers. Meanwhile, they have their own land cruisers. And then you compare yourself to other countries. A government that travels with 50 convoy of land cruisers. If you are filling one land cruiser, it's about 1,200 or 1,300 Ghana cedis. And if you are driving from Accra to Tamale, you have to refuel again. So times 50 cars, how much is that? And then you tell me that, or you ask me the question, if Ghana is broke. Ghana is not broke. We must feel that the country is broke. It's a code they are putting into our brains, but we need to decode it and let them know we are entitled to this, and then we need to get it. You know, when the looting happened in South Africa, I sat down quietly and I was like, why are these people doing that? And a friend was like, oh, South Africa for the Mojimi. I said, no, Omonjimi. The thing is that he knows that he's entitled to get 1,000 Ghana cedis. And the MP for his constituency has collected the money that he's going to give to his people, and he's not giving it. The government is supposed to pay me. He's not paying me. So what do? I need the money to buy food. I need the money to buy clothes. If that is the case, then let me go into the shopping mall where there is food, where there's clothes. I'll go and break in there, collect the food, collect the clothes that I want. I'll bring it home. At the end of the day, insurance gets you. Who is paying the insurance? Is it not government? So the government of the day will now go and restock again. So in another way, he has the 1,000 Ghana cedis that he was supposed to get now. So that doesn't make him to be a mad person. But you, the Ghanaian, that you think that you are wise now. Your member of parliament is busy chowing the money when it's embezzling state fund, is busy and then enjoying the money in Land Cruiser and then cutting illegal cakes, and then you cannot do anything. Whereas in another country, the people will run into the mall, break the place, collect the food and clothes, and then that same minister will go and pay for it. So who is wise? So it's hard that we need to let our ministers and then we let the government know our right, and this is what we are entitled to. All these SIM cards registration and stuff that they are doing, why can't they say that, okay, they are going to share money for people, or they are going to employ? How many people have been employed in Ghana now? What is the employment rate now? 62. So this 62% unemployment rate, what are they going to do? And then you say that there's Osafuma will come out there and say, that old man will come out there and say that the government has no space for in the public sector for people. But you're able to create space for your son in an office. You're able to get him a desk and then create a space for him. But for other people's children, there is no space. So the country is not broke. Our leaders are very wicked. Nana Akufo-Addo is a tyrant. Bawumia is a tyrant. And you have somebody like Osafuma who is a senior minister. What does he even do? You see, so the country is not broke. It's just that the leaders that we have, they are very wicked. And then we need to let them that we have certain priorities as citizens, and then we need to get them. So if you ask me, the country is not broke. The country is very rich. Thank you.
Really? Nicholas Mensah, Medasisa Ohemi. My next question is, Akufo-Addo has borrowed more than his predecessors, but yet nothing to show. But they still insist they are working. And where is the work? Or are they building castles in the air?
Thank you very much. If you say they are doing work, right? I'll say that they are doing nothing. You see, when the journalists like people like you try to talk, they begin to suppress people. You understand? And now what they are doing now is selective justice. And this is the time that the youth must arise. You see, the dangerous thing is that when you are fighting somebody who has nothing to lose. You understand? I jotted some points down. Look at this journalist that was arrested. Before they arrested Mugabe, they came and then they arrested Captain Smart. They came and then they arrested Ohene, what is his name? Ohene Boama also. Why are they doing all these things? Because they say Ohene Boama made a statement. But a current member of parliament of the ruling government NPP, and I'm not scared to mention his name, Kennedy Ajipon. I'm not going to add honorable because he's not honorable to me. He doesn't have the credits of their honorable.
Yeah, they are not
He comes on his
enough.
TV.
They don't
He comes on his TV station and then he insults the judicial service, telling people that they are useless, they are senseless, and then they are bogus. And then this same judicial service was not able to come back to invite him to court to come and tell him to explain himself. We're in a country where this same Kennedy Japan said that Ahmed Swali, if they see him somewhere around the premises, they must beat him. The same person said he knows the killers or the perpetrators of JB Dankwa, and he has not been invited to come and mention names. So if you ask me, I'll say the NPP government is into selective justice. They don't want to touch their own. What they are doing is that when it is for them, they protect it. But one thing that the NPP should know that, look, power expires. And their power will very soon change hands. And I'm saying it without any fear that in 2025, the NDC is coming to form a new government. And they should know that the power will change hands in 2025. So all these things that they are doing, they must know that one day they are going to account for it. You understand? Look at all these things that is happening around us. If something goes wrong, then our ordinary Ghanaian cannot speak about it. He can't say anything about it. Our security, even we are not even safe to even have security men. Why am I saying this? Look at what happened in Ayawasu West Wagon. If that thing was stopped and the perpetrators were brought to book, right, there will not be shooting in Nigeria. There will not be the killing of Kata. But because they know that all these things, when it's done, they will not be brought to book. So they do anything that they want. We're in an era whereby uniformed men will go out there and then they maltreat civilians. We're in an era whereby a policeman will just break into your house and they say that he's coming to arrest you without an arrest warrant. We're in an era whereby the youth themselves in Ghana are not safe because at any point in time, when you are driving your car, a policeman will stop you and harass you. But if measures were put in place and people were brought to book that you've done ABCD, you are being punished for this, I think other uniformed personnel will look at that and then they will resist from it. But because nothing is being done, you understand? And look at I read an article about Kennedy Japan saying that the policeman who cautioned the MCA in Takrade is bogus. He is unprofessional. What is unprofessional about the policeman executing his duties on the road? So if this policeman was hit down by the MCE, what were they going to say? A policeman has been crushed, and they'll say, okay, they will bury him. What has the policeman done? Who is trying to carry out this? You are saying that the police personnel are bogus. They are not doing their work. Now they are doing their work, and they are now still criticizing them. You see, so what kind of government are we forming in Ghana? Look, I keep saying that the most worst government is NPP. Coming back to your question, look at the monies that Akufo-Addo has gone to take. Let's start from COVID. And as for this NPP government, anything you say, they'll say it's COVID. I don't know whether they were praying for COVID to come and be their savior. I can't tell. But anything that happens in Ghana and COVID, now you're even paying COVID levies when you're coming to Ghana. You're paying COVID when you're buying petrol. You're paying sanitation when you're buying petrol. You're paying this. You're paying that. Everything has to do with COVID. So as for them, COVID came as a messiah for them. Look at the monies IMF gave to Ghana to give to people to take care of the COVID. How many facilities? Akufo-Addo came out, opening his mouth wide, my fellow Ghanaians, saying that they are going to build 88 hospitals. Where are the hospitals that he said he's going to build? None of them. Are they digital hospitals as his vice president also always talk about digitization? Maybe I think they are digital hospitals. But look at John Mahama, a visionary president. Look at University of Ghana Hospital. Look at what he did over there. Look at Bank of Ghana Hospital. Look at what he did over there. Look at other health facilities that he built. John Mahama, according to my research, built about 113 district hospitals. that he even finished most of them. Akufo-Addo, when it comes to the health sector, the only thing is he commissioned 88 beds, 88 beds, and he made it a whole public or a national thing. 88 beds, not 88 block rooms, but 88 beds. For how many patients? How many people do you have in Ghana? Over 30 million. And you give 88 beds to a hospital, and then you commission it on national TV.
That was a shameless thing for a president to do. Commission 88 hospital. That was shameless.
This is so a government like this who is not even accountable, and people don't even want to talk about. When you speak, he will tell you he doesn't hear. It's a dead goat syndrome. You understand? Using our money to fly in like aeroplane, busy chilling with Sewa Bruni. Why hasn't when this woman was doing the expose, she mentioned Kennedy Japan, she mentioned other people. Why didn't Kennedy Japan come out to defend? Because as well, he always has the fact. Or was it the digital Sewa Bruni that was talking? You understand? I said earlier on that if you are looking for the most corrupt presidency, it's the MPP. And look, as for Baumia, he should forget his presidency because he's not going to get it. Because this man has lied and he has even become the father of all lies. That when you even Google him on when you even put his name on Google and ask the biggest liar in Ghana, it brings out his name, Dr. Mahmoud Bamia. And these MPP guys have put him in front, and then he's messing up all the time. Every time he this, every time he that, every time he that in tax. Very soon, I'm very sure very soon, they are going to even impose tax on bride price. So
okay.
Our
my next question is
at all.
Okay, my next question is what do you think would have been done best to turn the economy around for the betterment of the ordinary Ghanaian?
Thank you so much for the question.
That's my last question on economy. Yeah.
Thank you very much for this question. If you ask me what do you think must be done best, we must sack all the leaders and make them accountable. Sacking them doesn't solve the problem, but making them very, very accountable. Because if Nana Akufo-Addo is out of power, which will be out of power very soon, you should be able to account all these loans that he went for, what they went into. You understand? All this hiking of fuel prices, where did they get all these their figures from? A country like Nigeria are only dwelling on oil. But Ghana, what are we dwelling on? A lot of things. Yet still, we're not making it out there. This is because the planning of the economy is bad. Look at Akufo-Addo, right? The finance minister is his cousin. Then this road minister, Amakwata, is his cousin, mother side, maternally. So you see, all these people are within his family. Amakwata should be standing in court now in the box answering questions why he closed down the toll booth. Because you brought they brought a presentation before Parliament which has not been approved, and you use your own power because you are a cousin to the sitting president to close all toll booths across country. And the most senseless thing he said is that they are going to convert the toll booth into public toilets. I mean, this person does it. Look, their minds are rusted. A 74-year-old man, their mind is rusted. He can't even think for himself, talk less of thinking for the country. How do you expect the toll booth to be converted into a toilet? A place that cars have been passing all the time. And silly reason was that you found people at the banks of the road urinating. So you are now telling me that the toll booth that is supposed to be a place of people to be passing with cars, somebody will now have to get out of the car, come to the toll booth, come and pee, and then go back again. What kind of road minister is this? Was it not the same Amakwata who said 2021 was the year of roads? How many roads do we have? They gave a 24-kilometer stretch road to Chamawu to me. Is Chamawu to me a contractor? You get it. So when they talk about account, they have to be accountable for everything that they do. But this government is not being accounted for. This government is not being audited, and then they keep changing people. The attorney, how can you be in the Attorney General's office and then you can't even find the document? JB Danquest death. Recently, I was reading the news. The pathologist said the result has been taken. It has been stolen from his house. His house be broken into his house. How can you put something of this sort in your house? Don't we have places to keep them in the hospital? Why would you go and put certain documents that are very valuable to that you know that this thing is still under investigation? You are a doctor, we understand. You can die. What if you die and then nobody knows where it is? But we have a public space in the hospital where you put files. People that have died 20, 40 years ago, their files are still there, births and deaths. So there are places that you can keep set things. You can even put them in the law court that they can even go for them at any time. But you decide to put it in your house and then you come and tell us that somebody broke into us and then it is missing. Are we fools? You understand? So if somebody comes up and says this and then he's gone for free, you understand? So this MPP government, they don't even have the guts to call them to come and account for anything. They don't do it. Just because the mother serpent himself is up there. So if the mother serpent itself is up there, that means you protect the other serpents that are down there. You understand? Captain Smart came out with an explanation saying Kenya Japan was giving so much money for air conscious street lights. Where are they? Where are they? Nobody has said anything about it. You understand? So we are not being accounted for. And then we need to set up things. Look, this MPP government, every small thing committee, have they set up a committee to investigate accountability? Every small thing committee. Which committee are they forming now? So like all these things that I'm saying, look, they need to be accountable. And then whatever money they spend
on
needs to be audited.
Party.
Oh yeah, yes. E-levy party. Look at the party that this minister, Mensa Bosu, a full-grown man, 65 years, a rusted brain to think. You see, we are talking about e-levy when people are crying about it, they are not happy, and then you have a cake saying that this is e-levy, and then you are enjoying. What are you trying to tell ordinary Ghanaian? Which means whatever you are saying, we don't even care. You understand? And we have a vice president who will just wake up and go to a party and start dancing on the dance floor. When you have pressing issues that are supposed to deal with.
They are all not in the head.
You see, as for Baumia, I'm very, very disappointed in Baumia. Those questions you need to be asked. He needs to answer them. But I'm very disappointed. I don't even know where he had this economist this thing from. I don't even know. He is really a disappointment to me. He has really disappointed me. Baumia is a disappointment. Papa.
Textbook economist.
No, but Baumia in my books, he has no good score in my book. No, not at all.
Okay. Acknowledge NDC France chapter. Madam Asisamo Hepa. Your next question, I believe we are done with the economy. Now with the health, Ekufuado promised 8 hospital during 2020 elections, but never see the light of day. He then promised again to build 111, which became an agenda 111, still nothing to show. So is this government, I believe he feels comfortable in promising than delivery because he doesn't care. He has done it before. He did that during 2016 and we voted for him. So he thinks that anytime he comes out there to promise, give a juicy promises, everyone will vote for him or everybody will clap for him. But what he doesn't know is Ghanaians are tired of the promises. We want actions. We want to see the things that he promised on the grounds. We want to feel it. We want to touch them. Like the works of JM is out there. You don't need to ask. They are there. Whether it is one e-blocks or one hospital, it is there. The evidence are clear. But yes, they want us to believe that they are working, but we are not seeing anything. That's the problem. and they still insist they are doing it. And only they are doing it whether in their dreams or it is invisible, we cannot see. I don't really understand them. So, what is your take on that? Because as for me,
You see,
I've run out things to say to them.
thank you for the question. I told you that the MPP government is running a digital hospital, right? All the 88 hospitals that they promised have been built already, but it has been built digitally. So we don't see them. You get it? Now, this government, like I keep saying, is the worst government in the Fourth Republic. You understand? The worst government in the Fourth Republic. Now, this agenda 111, what has he done? Nothing. These hospitals that he promised to build, which hospital has been built? Nothing. But he's much more interested in tax, collecting money from innocent people. You know, one thing that Ghanaians have not even looked at critically, right, is the biggest scam is the COVID test that happens at Kotoka International Airport. The same reagent, the same equipment. When a Ghanaian is traveling down with a Ghanaian passport, the Ghanaian pays $50 for the same test. When a foreign national is coming into Ghana for the same test, he's paying $150. The question is, where does that $100 go? You see what I was talking about, accountability. Any country that you go to, when you're traveling, you pay the same amount as the citizens pay. But in Ghana, a foreign national is paying $150 for a COVID test, and a citizen is paying $50. The question is not about the test, but the question is, if one is paying $50 and one is paying $150 for the same test, the same time, the same quality control test that is being done, where does the other $100 go? You see, when I'm talking about accountability and I talk about this government failing Ghanaians, look, the most worst government is the MPP government. You understand? Look, all these things that is happening, we know that they are lying to us. But Akufo-Addo knows that Ghanaians want to hear nice things. During the COVID-19 pandemic, during the election, what happened? He promised people, no more water bill. He reduced water, free electricity. You understand? And then just after election, there was a lockdown. The pandemic has gone up. We are still under COVID. But look at what happened at Chief Mensabu's house on his birthday. Ask yourself how many people were on nose mask. But they'll come out and they'll tell that when you're going to public spaces like the bank and other, is put on the nose mask, or else you'll not be allowed entry. These same lawmakers were there, including the vice president, but they were still flouting by the laws that they all make by themselves. You understand? So, like the MPP government, I was telling a friend who said, oh, they will do well, and this MPP will do well very soon. My friend, stop hoping hopelessly upon hope. Because when you think Akufo-Addo is going to strengthen the economy, then you are hoping hopelessly upon hope. What has he proven that he's going to make things right? Nothing. And he can clearly not even handle anything. Even his own family knows how he is. And he knows that the ears are there. We've got 2 ears. And the functions of the ears are to listen to sound and to things. So he's speaking to your ears to know. He's a politician. He's a liar. Akufo-Addo is a liar. Look, Akufo-Addo, if you ask people, even the NDC, MPP members will tell you that Akufo-Addo has disappointed them. This e-levy that is going on, who is it affecting? Is it affecting only NDC? It's not going to affect only NDC. It will affect every single Ghanaian. And there's NDC, there's MPP, there's APC, everything is in Ghana. Everybody will be affected. You understand? And then I was listening to one of these MPP communicators. She's like, no, the e-levy will not be taxed on government workers because they are being paid. And I asked myself a simple question. If government workers are being paid into their bank accounts and they are moving the money from their bank account into their Momo wallet, how would the bank know that, or how would the government know that this person is moving his money? You see how they want to play with our mind. Look at this e-levy thing that they are bringing. People don't seem to understand. People think only it is on Momo. But when the finance minister was reading the budget, right, he said any electronic transaction which tells me clearly that even when you go to the ATM and then use your bank card, it's an electronic transaction, you are being taxed. If you go to the shopping mall and you buy things and you are using your card to pay on the POS, you are paying that 1.75%. You are being taxed. So tell me if this is not scam, if this is not daylight robbery in a nice way. But you see the way they presented it very nicely, so that government workers will say, "Oh no, we are not taxed."
Every receipt that you collect, there is tax on it.
There is tax. Look, we have income tax, which every Ghanaian, everybody pays in Ghana, income tax. We have value added tax, which everybody pays. But when you bring in your goods from abroad, you are paying your duties and everything. When you buy stuff in the market, you are paying tax you don't know, because the person who bought the commodity to the market has already paid the tax. So you are also paying tax to the person. Let me give you a scenario. If you have 5,000 Ghana cedis, right, and then you put that 5,000 Ghana cedis, you save it in your wallet. Will you pay tax for it? If you have 5,000 Ghana cedis and put it in your back pocket, you don't pay tax for it. Now, the Momo is also a kind of wallet. It is an e-wallet, electronic wallet, that you don't want to carry cash on you. So instead of putting the cash in your pocket, you now convert it electronically onto your phone to be safe. So you are saving it on your phone. Now you trying to save your 5,000 Ghana cedi for your own safety. You are being taxed 1.75%. Is this not scam? You understand? So, like, the government of the day, he knows what he's doing and he knows what he has already planned to do. So there's nothing that will say that will change up his mind. What I'm trying to say is that we need to pray that God will touch this heart of the tyrant, which I know it is not going to be possible. But even if God tries to touch, it is not going to work. A government who is very wicked and says it's going to a national cathedral. We don't have any problem with the national cathedral. But look at the unemployment that is going on. But he'll come out and defend himself nicely with his communicators, saying that the national cathedrals, people working there, it is going to create employment. How many are they going to employ 1,000 Ghanaians to work there? I'm not against the national cathedral, but let's look at productivity. Let's look at the youth. You'll find government, if you're working in the government sector, you have to retire at the age of 60, true or false. But now look, people are in government and they are over 60 years, 70 years, they are still there. How will people come out from universities and get job? You want somebody wants a job in Ghana, freshly passed out from the university. He is applying for a position of a chartered accountant. They will tell him that they need someone who is 5 years experience. How will the person be experienced if the person doesn't work? You get it? If I don't work for that 5 years, how will I be experienced to apply for a job in which they tell me that they need 5 years experience? So clearly, we have failed as a country. And as for Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, I'm on them because they are on the driver's seat. They have really failed us woefully. And I believe very soon they will know that whatever they have done, right, whatever goes around will come around to them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you too. My next question is, does Akufo-Addo government takes our health sector serious at all? Doctors and nurses are also threatened to go on strike.
Thank you very much. You see,
must it get to this point that they have doctors and nurses have to threaten the government with a strike before he listens to their consent, or that's what they want for them?
You see, we are under a government where he doesn't care about anything. Earlier on, I made mention of the dead goat syndrome, right? Akufo-Addo doesn't care about the ordinary Ghanaian. When he's sick, he doesn't go to Kolibu. He doesn't go to 37. He doesn't go to Tamale Teachers. He doesn't go to G. When he's sick, he flies himself out of the country. Why? It's not that we don't have the good doctors and nurses in Ghana, right? And it's not that we don't have professionals to work in our health sector. We have very good professionals. But the thing is that, let me give you this scenario. You are in the department where they bring you a hematology analyzer, right? And the hematology department, there are only 3 people there. And once there's a hematology analyzer, they have to, if the machine is from India, they have to take people from the hematology department to India to go and be trained how to use the machine. Right. Now, when that invitation can go, the machine is already installed. Now, when that invitation comes, that okay, we need people from the department to come and be trained. Instead of them flying all the 3 people, right, to go, because one has to go and come, another person go and come. Instead of them, they don't do that. You know what they do? They instead fly one person. If the slot is for 3 people, they will fly one person, and they'll fly chief executive, and then fly human resource, and then they'll go with their girlfriends in addition. So this person goes there. If it's a 2 months training, the chief executive is there with the human resource manager with their girlfriend for the 2 months under the expense of the hospital. You get it? Now this technician from the laboratory will go and train for that 2 months. He comes back with the chief executive and the other people that went. And this person comes back and he works efficiently in the laboratory, in the hematology department. But mind you that every human being who works in the government sector is entitled to go on leave. So if this person goes on leave, then the analyzer is there. Nobody has an idea to use it. That is why you go to some hospitals, they'll tell you that, Dr. Winnie test you go to. The reason is not that the machines are not there. The machines are there. But the personnel to be trained to use the machines are not being trained. You understand? So you find also, no, doctor, no, or your machine, or your ultrasound only next week, or go to this particular place and go and do the scan. It's because there's nobody to do it. It's not that they can't do it, but there's nobody to. Instead of 3 people being trained, 1 person has been trained, and the rest has been given the slot for CEO or chief executive, and then human resource. So clearly, in this situation, if I am in a place like this and we are 3, and I'm the only person who is knowledgeable about that, and I'm on leave, who is going to work? You understand? And that is the problem and the challenge we have in our work in our health sector. Look, in the health sector, we have the consumables, which are the gloves, syringes, tourniquet and stuff, cotton wool, and then these are consumables. But when you need them, you need to go through procurement, and then you have to take time, go through this. Look, I in Ghana, I was in the health sector. I worked in the health sector in Ghana before leaving, right? And then when you need even gloves, there are times to come and count gloves for you. And then you go to some wards, they'll tell you don't have gloves. They've been giving 20 gloves for the day. This is happening in Ghana. Gloves that are consumable, that you have to use 1 glove on a patient and then take it off. You are being given 20 for the day. Ask yourself, how many patients come? How many patients do you handle? That means you have to use 1 glove for like an hour for how many patients? You understand? So the professionals are there, right? They know the work, but the training for them to be able to do the work is the problem. You understand? When a minister is sick, the minister takes leave, he flies outside for medical care. The minister go to Japan last time when he came, he said when he went to the US for the surgery, he said he was shocked. The doctor in US said he was shocked because what they found in there was exactly the doctors found in Ghana. Japan said it on radio, live radio. I watched him live on radio. He said, 2 more now, Ghana. We call American. Doctor know the same thing. Doctor no say no. You get it? Which means there are good doctors in Ghana. But then the equipment for them to work with is a challenge. How many heart surgeons, how many cardio surgeons do we have in Ghana? Compare Ghana to a country like the United States. How many cardio surgeons do we have in the US? A lot. But Ghana, how many? Only a handful. But they are in handful in Ghana because we don't have the equipment for them to use. So instead of them coming back to Ghana to come and work, they instead stay out there in the States and then work there. Look, when it comes, we have very, very, very good health professionals. But the equipment to work with is a challenge. You go to villages in the northern part of Ghana, you find medical assistants who are working as doctors. You find medical assistants who are working as doctors. You find nurses who are working as doctors also. Because 1, they did pharmacology, so they have the idea. How many doctors are being posted from Accra to go to a place like Bunkurugu Yoyo? Do you think the doctor will go? He will lobby and stay in Accra or high school massive. Because you know that the challenges over there are more and the equipments are not there. But at least when you come to 37 and if they request MIR in a place like Bunkurugu Yoyo, the person has to either come to Kumasi or come to Accra. A sick person. If the person, a relative of mine, said he has a friend who died out of brain tumor, and the brain tumor was diagnosed in Tamale Teaching Hospital. I'm mentioning it because it is something that happened 4 years ago. He got diagnosed in Tamale Teaching Hospital with brain tumor, and then they said they have to do the surgery in Accra. They have to bring this woman to Accra, and then she was in Accra for about a month, going for checkup, in out, and she passed away. Now the question is, if we have an MRI machine in the north, this problem could have been ceased. The person would have been alive, and the person could have been of help to the state. Let's assume the person was maybe like a developer of a software or something. Now we've lost somebody. Yeah, so it's not about the health work. The health professionals are ready to work. They are willing to work. But until these you are working in the hospital where you are coming in touch with a whole lot of people with blood, and then there's no alcohol to sanitize your hand. How would you feel? Will you be very comfortable to work? You're working in the hospital where there's no running water that you can go there to wash your hands. How would you feel? Will you be very okay in that working condition? Would you rather move and go to a place where there's very good running water that after every patient you can go under the tap, run out your hand, and then wash so that you feel, because you don't want to infect the next patient and you don't also want to get infected. So the health professionals, we have them very good, very splendid. They are working marvelously well, but then the equipment and then the things that have to be made available for them to work is a challenge.
Thank you too. And my last question is, how best do you think the NDC government under the leadership of the ex-president John Dramani Mahama would have done in his place for the betterment of Ghana's health services? Yeah.
Thank you. John Mahama never thought there would be a time of COVID, but he built facilities, and it helped very well during the COVID. You get it? When the other pandemic came, John Mahama made sure that we only recorded one case in Boku. It never got into the camp, only one case, and it was eradicated. This was because he put down measures when it comes to the health side. Look, when you are very rich, you are okay in life, and then you are sick, it's a challenge. Your money cannot save you. It is that small room or that small bed they'll place you on. That is where you be treated. So you go across Ghana, and then you find that most of the health workers, right, they'll say very big thanks to John Dramani Mahama. The only MPP government who did well when it came to health was John Ajikunku for when he introduced a single spine. It helped a lot of health workers, and then they were happy. But then John Mahama made sure that he introduced a whole lot of things for the health workers. Now, if you're a health worker in Ghana during the time of John Mahama, you can now accountant, controller in Canada. There are a lot of people there under ghost name. You understand? But when John Mahama came, he made sure that all these things were cleared. Health workers were enjoying their work because when it's time for them to go on leave, they are okay. When it's time for them to do something somewhere, or like a workshop, look, somewhere, I think in 2015, there were a team of ophthalmic nurses that were flew from Tamale West Hospital. Tamale West, I'm mentioning the name, Tamale West Hospital. They flew them from Tamale to South Africa for a seminar under John Mahama. Under Akufo-Addo. How many health nurses have been flew? Nothing. Under Akufo-Addo, my own senior sister, who is a medical doctor, they were supposed to come for a program in South Africa, right? It didn't happen. The other time it happened, it was just for a short period. And then monies were allocated to them for them to spend. Once they are traveled out of Ghana, monies were allocated to them. But ask yourself that, was those monies given to them? You see, we have a government where he himself is not accountable, so people that are around him are not so accountable. And look, if the doctors and nurses are threatening to go on strike, then it's going to be a very big problem. And the innocent Ghanaians are going to suffer. Because look at people that are on admission across all the hospitals that we have in Ghana. We have 1,263 hospitals in Ghana. You understand? 1,260 hospitals in Ghana alone. In any hospital you go to, there is an admission there. So if a doctor is on strike and the nurse is on strike, then what is the job of a laboratory man? The laboratory man becomes useless. You go, who is going to request for the samples to come to the lab for you to work? So which means that the hospital is there as a building, right? But there are no professionals to work in there. But with Jomama, people, if nurses are threatening to go on strike or doctors, the next line of action is that they call them to, or that listen to them, and then they ask them to go back to work. Akufado's term of office, doctors went on strike. He didn't care. He brought doctors from Cuba. He flew doctors from Cuba. What is he trying to tell them? But the person you are bringing from Cuba, the money so you are paying them for them to come. Why can't you use that same money to settle these people that are grieved because of their monies? So you see how Akufo doesn't even respect or regard our workers. But when it comes to John Mama, when people are on strike, he makes sure that he communicates to them rightfully and listens to them, and the issues are being solved. So when it comes to John Mama, look, John Mama is a very good president, right? Infrastructure development, we saw it. Education, we saw it. Health, we saw it. Everything, we saw it. You understand? But Akufo-Addo's government, trust me, health and go ye. Even football and go ye. The only time Ghana went on a tournament to come back, not even a winning match. So you see, so our government that we have, it doesn't win anything. All he does is that he charges money. A tournament that the winner takes home $10 million, you use $25 million to prepare your players. Wow, shall we, your papa? On your papa.
Medase, thank you. And my last question, and our last topic is on the e-levy, because we cannot close without talking about it. Even this week, a lot has go on the e-levy. We had NDC and Ghanaians had press conference on e-levy, whilst the finance minister and his team, as usual, drinking tea, taking extra lunch, all in the name of e-levy, explaining to Ghanaians. And now I've heard that the youth organizer, Nana B, is he organizer or youth organizer, is going around also taking our taxpayers' money to go down there to explain the negative way to Ghanaians. And today, of all day, we've seen the demonstration against the e-levy. Even yesterday, the e-levy was celebrated, a big, huge e-levy cake, which was senseless and disrespectful to Ghanaians, because whoever made it and whoever received it, none of them is okay in the mind. They are all sick in the head, and they must visit Ankafo and Pantine Hospital for a review checkup on their brains. Because if I were Chairman Sabonsu, such a sensitive matter like e-levy, I would have asked them to take the e-levy cake out for others, for us to know that you really are insensitive. But this insensitive man, Lawrence Adair, his real name and what associates with it, like king of all thief, because the reason it's been alleged that the reason he changed his name from Lawrence Adair to Chairman Sabonsu is because he stole something from their Chobo's room. He stole something. That is why he changed his name. This is what is alleged out there. So if he had common sense left, he would have rejected that e-levy cake. But he enjoys it anyway. What makes matters worse was the presence of Baumia and the wife. It makes it worse to see them there, and they were all applauding. They were all happy because e-levy has come. I saw Wontumi there. As for Wontumi, whatever he does, so it really doesn't matter. But the rest of them, it does. This shows how totally empty NPP ministers and MPs are. Because if you can celebrate a party with a cake on e-levy, the e-levy that you are going round asking people to pay, begging people to pay, explaining yourself, town hall, engagement and all that, and you make e-levy cake, this, in fact, only a senseless person, empty head, will do what they did. Because this one, you don't need to say, oh, excuse my language. This language, you have to use it because they deserve it. It's only a senseless person, an imbecile for that matter, because you know, imbeciles, you know, whatever they do, they don't know what they do anyway. So in my summary, I will use the word imbeciles. Imbecile will do what they did yesterday. It was uncalled for and it didn't really sound well. It is a disrespectful act on their behalf. They disrespected Ghanaians, and that was not a real good thing for a real human being to do, with a brain to do. So I'll leave it to you to talk a little about
thank
it
you very much.
with our viewers.
Yes, you see, earlier on, I was telling you that we are in a digital era, right? But in this digital era that we are, our leaders have analog brains, which means they are not modern. You get it? We're in a digital dispensation, but these leaders in the NPP, they have analog brains. Now, saying this is because you, Chairman Sambonsu, the majority leader of the corrupt party, you know very well that before people go on demonstration, letters are already given out to the police, and the public are aware of it. So, Chairman Sambonsu, you can't tell me that you are not aware that there was a demonstration that was going to happen today, and it's just because of the e-levy. And then you go ahead and you cut a cake that you've customized e-levy. What are you trying to communicate to the people? It's clearly stated of the song that they always sing, YNTUBR, which means they don't even respect the ordinary Ghanaian. In other words, they don't be and fire. And they've made it a point that they want to pass the law and they will pass the law. You understand? But you see, as I said earlier, when these things happen, the youth will stand up. Look, there is a marching song that arise Ghana youth for your country. Even our pledge says, and help us to resist the oppressor's rule. Now, these people are trying to oppress, so we have to resist the oppressor's rule. You get my point. Look, Chemesa Bosu, as old as you are, 65 is a very good age for you. But then at 65 years, if you know that there's a problem that is coming to your house, you first look at the problem, address it from afar, and solve it. But not play the drum of the trouble in your house for people to come and say that, okay, we are in the trouble, let's fight with it. There are ways of communicating these things out. And like I clearly said, I'm disappointed in Bawumia because I know Chairman Sabonsu wants to be the running mate for Dr. Bawumia. So that is why he invites you. As for Dr. Bawumia, anything about Chairman Sabonsu, he will go. A president who drives with convoy from Accra to Kumasi for a birthday party, a vice president. Because he knows what he's doing, because he knows that the primaries he might win, all right. But when it comes to the election, you see that Ashanti for the end to Abamba a tough war. So now he's trying to please them. And he's always at the front. If anything even should be the case, Akufo-Addo has already messed up. He is going, whether we like it or not, he has messed up and he will go. Why don't they front him? But why are they fronting you? You understand? So this e-levy thing, I won't say it is a tax. It's not an e-levy tax. It's an e-levy theft. Because they are into extort money. And when you said imbecile, I think even that one is more like, because the imbecile doesn't even know what he's doing. But with these people, they know what they are doing. So I'll call them dingbats. You get it? They know what exactly they are doing. I'll call them dingbats. An American will say it's a dingbat. You get it? Because all this, what things these are doing, they know what they want. They've already seen the end from the beginning, and they don't care. Look at the demonstration that went on today. Innocent Ghanaians are pouring their heart out. Now it's not about NDC, it's not about NPP, but it's about the Ghanaian. Because I could see a lot of Ghanaian flags that were flying, apart from the party paraphernalia. A lot of Ghanaian flags were flying. So this has to do with Ghana. Because if a ball of kinky is being increased, they don't sell 2 CD for only NDC and 1 CD for NPP. They all buy it at the same cost. The unemployment rate that affects the country, 62%, is not affecting only NDC, it's affecting NPP. It is Ghanaians. It's Ghanaians at stake. So if the e-levy has been, look, like I said, look, MTN has every right. Let me make this clear. MTN has every right to charge 1% because they have bought the service. So if MTN says you send 1,000 Ghana cedis through me, I'll take 1%, which is 10 CD. They have the right. And I applaud them for that. Kudos to MTN. But then, what of the government who is not doing anything for the telecommunication by taking you 1.75%? And out of this 1% that MTN is taking, which is 1,000 Ghana cedis, then they take 10 cedis. Out of these 10 cedis, they are paying tax again from it to the government of the day. So if, for instance, MTN is paying, let's say 5 CD out of my 10 CD to the government all the time, what right has the government now got to come and add another 1.75% again for me to pay? So which means that 1.75% is going to the government, is not going to MTN. MTN is already paying their tax. You see how canny this MPP government is. The question is, MTN is taking 1%. It's because they are working. They are using the services. It's their platform. It's their network. You understand? And then they are paying the tax also to the state. But the government of the day, Nana Akufo-Addo, and then his vice president Bawumia, and his finance minister Kenoforiata, and his senior minister Osafo Mafu, what have they done to receive that 1.75% from ordinary Ghanaians? You see what my point is? And more transaction goes on in Ghana every day than even walking into the physical bank. So why are they now taxing innocent people? Are they trying to say that, okay, then don't use the service of MTN mobile money again? And then what? Because if you don't use MTN mobile money and then you want to go to the bank, definitely you use the card. And the card also is electronic payment. You'll be taxed for it. And not only the card, but when you are doing a bank transfer, when you are transferring money from your bank account to mobile money or transferring money from your bank account to a different bank account, it's electronic transfer. You are also taxable. So you see, in every form of transaction, they are making that money from it. You get, so that's what I'm saying, that the e-levy is not a tax. E-levy is a theft. And it's a branded scam. It's a digital type of stealing. But then, because they are very good at digitalization. As Bawumia will see, everything is digitalization. So it's a digital crime that they have created, a digital theft platform. That if the e-levy, I'm telling you, the e-levy is a digital theft platform of extorting money from the innocent Ghanaians. Thank you.
Thank you too. On this note, I will thank you for coming on the show today, and thanks for the viewers for watching. So thanks for coming, and I hope you honor our invitation next time.
I'll be very glad to come on the platform again. I really enjoyed the topic we discussed today. But one thing I want viewers to know is that in 2025, I can promise them that we are coming back to power strongly, and we are forming a government in 2025. So everybody must create their awareness. But this elephant must be sent back into the bush, because that is where it belongs to.
Okay. Amen. Inshallah. It shall be well, because we all want this government out of our way. It is killing us. For Madam Ase, na NDC ni our buy and on a communication officer Emma South Africa. Yenim say a friend of Essie into Mr. Enoch Botey Hey, the name. If I don't watch it, I can't pronounce
The
it.
last time I corrected you the name, I'll charge you for the third time. It is Enoch Botier.
Oh, really? Sorry. I'll pay anyway. Mr. Enoch Botey.
Botier.
Botey.
Botier.
Botier. Okay,
Yes.
Mr. Botier. Ni Ajinu. Is that right?
I'll pardon you for that. Yeah, you're right.
That one is right.
Yeah.
Okay, correct me again. Correct me again.
Yeah, it is Enoch Botier Ni Anjeni.
Okay. So he, NDC communication officer, was South Africa. Yedana se say obaye na meda etiefo ase say omoje bre na omohwe me na matade efefefe. Die ochi a ye pam ni sika no ema me ye me dofo nana hema. Ana die opam a me no se efre no lazy fashion o wa atonsu bokro. Obe parcel ne kama. Baby a obi a sempo no uni Ghana ha mpo a obe mele di abrew. Inti no lazy fashions a omo wa atonsu bokro di ebe hu me na memfa ne number me check ne number na ma antro me refi say enne me hye atade yi inti ne number me hu ene ntem wa ha say ne number ye 0243467395 message subium 0243467395 eye lazy fashion o pese hotel so a ono de oye international designer inti no so bo mi din ko ade a obetel so kama meda adofo ase me hu say me maame Mary Gardner a oye UK Ireland Women's Organizer obehwe me hu no ye chate o back door kra kakra Paul G eso ahwe NDC France ahwe etwagu so wo 360 African 360 TV and twagu wo Waslina TV twagu wo The Umbrella Anna other Facebook platforms bi to say Occupy Ghana na nyankopon ya adoma medidi omo a ya na ye we ne faso no medi omo din ebeba Honorable Joseph Yami page Honorable Isham page die mekai na ewo mitirim no nya say mato agu ye NDC kanewu NDC UK Ireland platform so ana bebre edoso pass man sha ya na me ankasa no me wo short memory kakra nti se man hwepe enya ade a metimi aka ebi keka ho eno a Papa J eso platform ka ho Papa J platform Friends of JJ Rollins ana Honorable Atoforsen Friends of Honorable Atoforsen eno so etwagu oso ana Nokware nuni eso sa love blues I choose JM Friends of Chief Piney President John Dramani Mahama for 2016 Friends of JJ Rollins Love will Never Die Joy Prime 4 ways so the Truth Defense Network etwagu ho so NDC Abesewa members so Sir Judah Agba Joy Prime the Honorable Isham the expose fake journalists so platform etwagu ho Anna Brainwash Friends of Black Sheriff also Sir Occupy the Jubilee House Protect My Vote Nokware nini said ye meka no Anna defend the great NDC party Friends of Atoforsen team brother Imma the only brethren radio ono so etwagu wo ho no sa ana bloggers forum hoso saa ana Kanewu Warriors etwagu wo ho no saa na watwe bia ana platforms ahodo a etwagu wo so meda obi asese oma na fidie kwan anase ne platform kwan emma nokware ne nie efa so emma adofo enya bihwe meda obi bia ase Uncle Benjamin Pabiti, I see you, thank you, still my backbone. Ana obi biara Alhaji Sabatu eso eka me rock ne ho ane omo keka ho Evans medase ene obi biara na me wone dase ne na me ma mo enidie ne ehwe ene tie nyankopon eden kwache ya dase ne yebese hia. So on this note, it's bye for us from here. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Tie for Accra mo ye wada sene.